This girl was very tiny. Our miracle baby was very tiny. She had no eyebrows. She had no fingernails. You could see the green vein. You could see the veins running across. No fingernails. The ears, like the nurses had to put some sellotape on the ears. Since when she sleeps on the other one side in a jiboda and a bodeka. There was this time, like after some days, I went to the nursery to check on my baby. The stomach was almost bursting. Yes, the stomach was the baby is very tiny, the stomach is very big, plus you could see the vein running across. I used to see unexpected ready and freeze and feel like freezing. Ile najawoga na shaga. God.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Mommy Tales. In case you're new here, my name is Marianne, and on this channel I share encouraging, inspiring and educational stories on motherhood. Sometimes I do feature dads, but most of the time I feature moms who have gone through experiences in their parenting journey that we can all learn from. And that's exactly what I'll be doing today. I'll be sharing the story of one mom who gave birth to her daughter prematurely. Where was she when it happened? How did it happen? Then what happened next? What were the emotions she went through? And how did she pull through together with her family? So this is Sarah sharing her story.
I'm Sarah Ndeta, or Sarah Mwangi. There are those who know me as Sarah Mwangi. Mwangi is my dad. Ndeta is my husband. A mother to 4 beautiful kids, 4 girls. The first one is 16 years old, and the last one is turning 2 years old. Married to Patrick Ndeta, and I hold a degree in information science. I'm in the field of record management, and still I have some side hustle which I learned in the field of health. We do physiotherapy, massage, and we welcome anyone who feel they need to be checked on their health, to check their weight. Yeah, that is what we mainly do. Now my story is about my girl who is now 10 years old. She's Natasha Ndeta. Natasha, as we call our girl, she's a miracle girl. Born in the year 2010, she was a preterm baby. She was born at exactly 7 months. Exactly. The day I hit 7 months is the day I gave birth to that baby. She's my second baby, so I had experience. Like any other mother, I had the experience with my firstborn. So with my second pregnancy, okay, I used to go clinic the kawaida way. I'm a person who starts clinic as early as from the first month. So I started my clinic the normal way. Everything was fine. Everything, my diet, my everything. I used to take those tablets. There are those tablets. The folic acid tablets. I used to take them as prescribed. Everything was fine until I used to work kawaida, no health issues, and being this was my second pregnancy. At least I knew what is happening with my body, plus the visits which I used to go. I used to attend mater clinics, so there were classes. After the clinic, we used to go for classes. And I used to attend those classes. So I knew everything which was happening with my body. And this is the point that I can encourage other mamas, expecting mamas and other mamas to be attending antenatal clinic. And because they are very helpful, they are that information that you get, which will help you monitor your body and the growth of your baby. When I was 6 months plus, I was coming from office, and let me take you back. I'm very grateful for my husband, Patrick Ndeta. He worked with me throughout the journey of my pregnancy, since the time we realized that I'm pregnant, that is within the first month. So he used to pick me in the morning. We used to go together in the morning to office, and in the evening he used to pick me for the whole duration of my pregnancy. That's somebody who really supported me, and he has supported me till from our firstborn to the last child. So it's also something I would encourage men to start with their wife, has a wife. It's very important, giving you that support. It's not about time or anything, but that support. You walk the journey together. So we walk the journey together. That day, that very day, so that my water can break, I had gone to the office as usual. In the evening, it was on a Friday, I recall very well. He picked me as usual. We had taken our first daughter to the salon. So I was to pass by the salon, pick my girl and do the payment, because I had confirmed she was still at the salon. When I entered to pick my girl, and it was around 7:30 in the evening, I felt all was not well with me. There is that fluid that came out from me. I was standing, I felt a hot liquid. So I was like, Zileza, is that urine or what is not happening? I thought something was amiss with me. After some few minutes, I recalled that we were told how amniotic fluid can at times come out. And that is the time I realized all is not well. But the good thing, my husband was outside the salon. It's near the roadside. We had parked outside the salon. I just picked my girl. No one in the salon knew what was happening. The good thing, it was at night. So, hata maji ikitoka, there was no one who noticed what it was. And actually, there was no one who noticed. I left the salon, entered the vehicle. I shared the story with my husband. Sijui ni nini ime happen, lakini ni kama nimejisusuria. So he was like, how now? Kujisusuria? He couldn't understand. I also couldn't understand. But I was like, this might be the fluid I normally hear about. And because in one of the classes we were told, in case such a thing can happen, you can see any leak coming from you, call your doctor. Luckily, I had my doctor's number. Nikampigia simu, akaniambia, come to the hospital. That is main hospital. We went to the house. I checked in the toilet. And when I entered to the toilet, because I felt I need to release myself. Hey, sema maji kutoka? Sema fluid kutoka? A lot of fluid came out. That is the time we knew all is not well. We never did anything else. We rushed to Mater Hospital. Mater Hospital, we were attended, and I want to thank the nurses and the doctors at that hospital, because even without money, I was taken in even without a single cent. We never even paid consultation fees. I was immediately taken to the ward. Immediately after being admitted, they ran some tests. They did a scan on me, and surely they saw I had lost a lot of the fluid, amniotic fluid. There was no other option rather than to be held in the hospital for some observation. They thought I can stay in the hospital for like a week or two for the baby to develop, because this time the baby was like not yet 7. She was like 6 months and almost turning 7, but that day we were still 6 months pregnant. After staying in the hospital for 2 days, bedless, total bedless, no moving from my bed. I was just there. They really wanted for me not to run about. Everything was blocked in the bed. After 2 days, I decided this is not the life I'm used to. I want to at least get some fresh air. I wanted to do some louds because I felt I was very strong. By the way, I was very strong. I had no pain. Nothing like pain. I felt that like I'm strong, I can do my round. So the time I stood up and did a walk, the remaining fluid, it all came out. Now it was a matter of emergency. The nurses came, they assisted me, we did another scan, and they told me, Sarah, now this is emergency. We are taking you to theater. Luckily, as I said, I have a very supportive husband. He was by my side 24/7. We were given less than 1 hour to do the preparation, for them to do my preparation. We signed the form, or the required form, for me to be taken to the theater. But they had to prepare me because according to the scan, they were able to see the baby was very tiny to survive. And there is an injection, so they had even to cancel me because the hopes of the baby surviving were 50-50. They really cancelled me within the 30 minutes before I was taken to the theater. They cancelled us. They told us the chances for the baby, because of the way she was tiny according to the scan, chances are 50-50. Then there is this injection I remember today. It's a steroid injection which I was injected. It's an injection which helps the baby lung to enlarge. You see, it's a small baby, the lungs are not yet fully formed. That injection, you will be injected for the baby lung to be enlarged. How? I don't know. It's a medical wise. I was injected that injection, and my husband had no option. He held me tight. I really cried. This was my first time going to the theater. I'm being told the chances of survival for the baby is 50-50. I have never gone to the theater. Psychologically, I was not prepared at all. I was not prepared to give birth at that time. And still I was told, even if the baby will come out, she may stay in the hospital much longer. Okay, my husband, there is a word that he told me that links in my mind to date. She told me, Sarah, you are my wife. We have another kid. We can still get other kids, but I cannot lose you. I cannot lose you. Fight for your life. Let us fight for your life. Other kids, God who gave us this will give us other kids. They were very strong words because, yes, I went to the theater knowing the same God who gave me this kid is the same God who will give me other kids. And the God who is in heaven can still keep this kid. I was very hopeful that I will come to see this kid and she will be our miracle girl, because we had known the day that she was a girl. I was wheeled to the theater. The operation was performed. After, I remember it was in the afternoon, I was wheeled out of the theater. I had not had my baby cry. Like, even I never wanted to ask about my baby, because I knew the worst has happened. And I never wanted somebody to ask, because I knew I will be down. I wanted to concentrate with now my body and to heal. I never even questioned the theater attendants, or theater doctors about my baby, because I knew the worst has happened, and according to the way I have been told, this is a chance of 50-50. When I woke up in the recovery room, I was wheeled to the ward where I met my husband, and he was like, "Congratulations." I was like, "Yes, congratulations." Congratulations, we have a baby, but a very tiny baby. She has been taken to the ward, to the ICU. At least I was happy. I told God, "Thank you. I prayed and you have answered the prayer." Even if she's in that ICU, she will still come out from there, from the nursery ICU. She will still come out from there. Because I couldn't be able to go to the nursery ICU. It was upstairs, and my dude is now, I have that CS wood. My husband showed me the pictures of our little baby. She was like a tiny baby. I could go through the pictures, and I thanked God for the baby. I stayed for one night without seeing my baby, and nobody mentioned about the other condition, that she was very tiny, very tiny. The birth weight was 1 kg. So this is a baby who couldn't even, as in there were no new baby clothes she could fit on. But because she went to the nursery, she was only on pamper. And the pamper is the mini, the small pamper. And at this point, I would humbly request, the pamper, I don't want to mention any company or whatever, the pamper making company, to come up with those pampers that fit preterm babies. Because my baby could, like the small pamper, could, like, akivarishwa inafika kwa shingo. That's how small she is. And I forgot to mention, after birth, my baby reduced the weight from 1 kg 2 grams to 900 grams after birth. So this is the second day. The first day I never saw my baby. The second day I had to go to nursery because they also needed, I breastfed. But I couldn't, I never knew I will not go to breastfeed my baby. I never knew how my baby was. I went to nursery. I was assisted still by my husband and the nurses. I went to the ICU nursery, and the nurses there and the doctors were very friendly. I was shown my baby, and I was shocked because what I saw it was not what I was expecting. In my life, that was the first baby to see, yani, that tiny baby. My baby was like a small cat. I couldn't hold my baby because there was like, hakukuwa na place ya kumholdia. Hakuwa na nyama za kuholdiwa. So she was in a machine, the incubator. I could just look through the incubator to see my baby. Like, I was to come breastfeed my baby. Now my baby cannot breastfeed. Now what is this? What next? At least they talked to me. They counseled me. I was shown the way to do it. I was to express now the milk. Every time I go for a checkup, I was to express my milk. My dear, now my baby is grams, is less than a kilogram, less than the birth weight. We kept on visiting our baby in the nursery every now and then, but only for parents. No visitors around, only parents were around. My baby was very tiny, I used to cry day and night when I got to visit my baby, but I had to make myself stronger, look strong to the outside world. I'm one kind of a person, despite all the challenges which will hit me, I will still stand tall. I like encouraging people, and I felt this is the time I should also show them the God I preach, the God I tell them about is still with me. So I could cry when I'm all alone in those blankets at Mater. And when I got visitors, you couldn't think I have issues. I was smiling there. And my dear, I have a CS. I could escort my visitors, but they could not see my baby. But they used to see the baby through the phone. The challenge that we had, this girl was very tiny. Our miracle baby was very tiny. She had no eyebrows. She had no fingernails. You could see the green vein. You could see the veins running across. No fingernails. The ears, like the nurses had to put some sellotape on the ears. Since when she sleeps on the other one side in a jiboda and a bodeka, the ears, if they were, it's not for the sake of sellotape, zilikuwa, they like, when she was turned, akilalia masikio, sikio inakosa kutoka. At that position, the veins were running all over. She had no fingernails. She was tiny that she was, okay, being given some medication, the injection and the drips, but she had no place for the injection to be injected. The only place they could inject is behind this part of the leg. What do we call it? The heel of the that part, the heel. That is the only place they told me they can get some fresh, because there was nothing. Now I was expressing milk and taking H&A. After a while, after 2-3 hours, I expressed. It was being preserved. Another problem cropped up. She was being given my milk through we call them through pipe. Immediately she started getting my milk, she started sweating. The stomach started sweating. She developed an issue with my milk. The milk was too strong and the body was like she couldn't hold my milk. There was this time, like after some days, I went to the nursery to check on my baby. The stomach was almost bursting. Yes, the stomach was the baby is very tiny, the stomach is very big, plus you could see the vein running across. The nurses were trying to do as much as they can to remove now what is inside the stomach. It was my milk which was affecting the baby, and the stomach started swelling. So they started, it was emergency. They started removing the milk and through nose, with pipes, and they could remove some greenish thing. So she had a problem with digesting my milk. From that time, it was a no to my milk. They started giving baby some medicine plus some, actually some like a drip, because she became allergic to my milk. But after some days, they came up with a solution to be diluting my milk plus medicine and administer to the baby. She could take like some pins through the pipe. Kidogo, 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 kidogo. We stayed in the hospital. We stayed in the hospital for like a duration of 1 month, which I had never held my baby. We used to watch my baby through the incubator. Then there was this time that came. Okay, let me go back again. I never said in this nursery for ICU there were other kids and there were other mothers who we were facing the same challenges. We used to encourage one another. At least we became friends through the problem we had. So there were those times we could go to the ward to breastfeed our baby, even to see our babies. And the nurses could tell us, you are not going to enter. There was a room for expressing milk. First of all, stay there. There is an emergency we are attending to. When we had such a thing, we knew all is not well. There is an emergency. All was not well. There must be somebody's baby within amongst us who has an issue. And you don't know whether it's yours or the next baby. So, as we were waiting for the nurses and the doctors to finish the emergency issue they are handling, they could call a parent. Franny, you are needed in the room. Once you hear your friend or your name has been called, you know the worst might have happened. Many of the times we went there not knowing what to expect. Then the other, it was disturbing because you are going there not knowing whether you will get your baby. Because maybe the way you left that baby was not a good situation. That baby, maybe you left the baby very badly off. You are there, you are told there, you cannot enter the room. There is an emergency or there is something, a procedure they want to do before you enter. Then they call a friend because we had become like a family, like a friend. You knew the worst has happened. So there are many mothers. That is why I say Natasha is a miracle girl. There are many ladies who are called and told, unfortunately, we have tried our best. Your baby never made it. It was very painful even to the rest of us because you never know tomorrow. I remember there was a time, there were like 7 babies. When I went to check on my baby, there were only 3 machines which were operating. The rest of the babies were normal. So it was a hard time. We kept on calling God. And it's good to have prayer partners. People who will stand with you when you feel you have reached at the dead end. I thank my friends, my family. They stood with us. They prayed for us. Now after staying in hospital for like 1 month, the bill was becoming high each and every day. We decided that because I had no issue, I was discharged from the hospital and I left the baby at hospital. It was not easy leaving the hospital without a kid. It was not easy. It was a hard experience. I left the hospital not because I wanted, but because of the bill. We never wanted to burden people with harabies and everything. And I also wanted to also be strong because I had another kid. I left the hospital, so we made an arrangement with the hospital of going for visiting and expressing milk 3 times in a day, morning, lunchtime, and evening. And my dear, I have an operation. I have not healed. So this means I cannot rest in the house. I have to make preparation to go see my baby. At this moment, I want to thank my 3 friends. Specifically, I have many, but let me mention 3. There is Pauline Mosioki. There is Ruth Dero. And there is another one called Mama Michael. They were very good to me. They stood with me because I never lacked anything in the house. I never lacked, like they were there to ensure breakfast is ready, lunch is ready. I never bothered on what to be cooked because my mind, every time I woke up, it's time to go to hospital. So my friends came in. They had their own shift despite that I had a house manager. They ensured today you are the one who is on duty. Esther Mweni is the one who is on duty. She's going to prepare blah blah. The soup is ready. Jahe is ready. You know, with us Kikuyu we believe with Jahe for breastfeeding mother. And I started going now attending hospital morning, at lunchtime, and in the evening. The hard thing was my husband was by then had moved to another organization. He got a new employer. He had been away from office for 1 good month, and this is bad. Still, I'm sick. We cannot afford to get a driver, so he was the one still to drive me to the hospital, and still he needed to be with me throughout that time. No, there were some still words he said. My family come first. God will give, if this job comes to an end, God will still give me another job. But I have to start with you and the baby till the last minute. So he went to, he was given that until he was given the leave. He had to support me throughout that time. Used to go to the hospital in the morning. I express milk, we check on the baby. But still, as I mentioned, when we were changing, because we have to change our outfit going to the nursery, we were changing without knowing how we will meet our baby. The funny thing, I never wanted to be the first one to enter that room. I wanted him to enter first. So that when he enters, as we are doing the changing, the washing, we are washing the hands, we are disinfecting the hand, we are changing. If he enters first, from the reaction at the door, I will know whether our baby is okay or not. So I could wait for my husband to enter the ward because I feared the worst. I wanted to see the reaction. You know, you can tell when something is not okay from your spouse's reaction. So when he enters, I peep, I could see a smile. Na mimi najipatia nguvu. I know our baby is doing good. And enter the room also, the ward also. And we used to take the video and the photos every day. At least a small video. Because we never knew what will happen tomorrow. Maybe that will be the last video. Today we go, our baby is not fine. Tomorrow we go, our baby has not increased weight. Now the tricky part of it, the baby started, the digestion issue became okay. She started, but remember for all that time, now it's almost a month and a half, I have never held my baby in my arms. She has been always, she's on machine, the incubators. Now the challenging part of it, we had been told until this baby hits 2 kgs, she cannot come out of this hospital. Now I'm trying my best to eat, to drink, so that I can have not only milk but quality milk. For the weight of my baby to increase, I am expressing. But my baby is not increasing, the weight is not increasing. Maybe today, she increased, we used to monitor the weight each and every day. We used to get that report. Today, she increased with a gram or some grams. Tomorrow, she drops with 5 grams. She increased with almost 500 grams. Tomorrow, they are race. It was a bit tough. There were tough moments. But God was there for us. Our friends and family was there for us. And through prayers, He made it possible. There was a day I went to the hospital feeling very weak, feeling very lost and down. And in the corridors, I happened to meet one of the doctors who were attending my baby, because there were many. We never had a specific doctor who was looking after our kid. There were many, whichever the doctor on duty, whichever the doctor on duty was looking after our kid. So that day I was very down, very like I was almost giving up, because there were no change in our baby. And let me mention, like, this baby, once she's stripping one side and a bodeka. So the nurses used to keep on changing the position of my baby. And now this time, you can see some changes because fingernails zimeanza kuform, but the weight is still not going as per expected. I met in along the corridors as the doctor was coming from the newborn unit, the incubator, the HDU for that unit for the kid. I met with the doctor, and the funny thing, these doctors was my pediatric.
Melody. Daisy amefanya nikimbie.
Okay, around the corridors, I came across the doctor who was by that time, seeing my baby, by that hour when I was in the hospital. And guess what? He was the ped who was treating me when I was there. He's Dr. Mathege. He was treating me back in Muranga when I was very young, and now he is the same doctor who was seeing my baby. He gave me hope. The doctor gave me hope. At least I could see my tomorrow. I knew the doctor way before, some 28 years before he was treating me, and now he's the one handling my baby. Yani, he gave me hope that we are fighting, and she's a fighter according to how they have handled my baby. They have seen my baby fight, and she will win the battle. And at least I could, when I was down, I could call. Now this is a doctor who we are one-on-one. I have known him for very many years. He could at least encourage me and give me hope. So after 2 months down the line, my baby hit 2 kilograms. And it was like a big celebration to me. Somebody out there may not understand that I celebrated when my baby hit 2 kg. It was not obvious, because this is a baby whose chances of survival are 50-50. The time we hit 2 kg, now we were very ready for discharge. But the problem was, we have never held this baby in our arm. This is a baby who has never breastfed. I used to express milk. I had to go for some classes now on how to breastfeed this baby. Despite the fact that this is my second baby, now the baby has to, like, I had to be shown on how to handle this tiny baby, because 2 kg is a tiny baby. The small pamper, as I said, ilikuwa inamfika kwa shingo. They had to fold it. The small, all through for those 2 months, she was not wearing clothes. But now, because we are about to be released, they had to start like preparing it, even the baby. The 2 tiny clothes that I had bought, knowing they are the tiniest for my baby, they were very big, very big. Baby could alikuwa anapotelea kwa hizo nguo. But at least we had a reason to smile. Now we have a baby with us. I held my baby for the first time. Now we could go to the hospital. It was like another home, because my dear, I have been discharged from hospital. The baby is still there. They gave that there was that feeling that it's a home far away from home. There was that area that was reserved for such kind of mothers with babies in those units where you used to stay. Now I used to go there, hold my baby. being assisted by the nurses. I was shown on how to breastfeed the baby, despite that I had another one, but this is a different. All babies, remember, all babies are different. Now this is a baby who had never breastfed. She never even knew how to suck. So the nurse could come, no, hold the baby kwa nipple, let the baby suck. Nothing. This baby is very great. She doesn't know how to suck. We stayed for another 3 days before the baby finally knew how to suck. Now another challenge came. Yes, we stayed for other 3 days as we were doing the practice, how to wash. I was shown even how to handle such a baby, a small baby. After 3 days, she was also discharged. We went home. Now the challenge is how to handle the baby at home. Mind you, this is a baby who needs special attention with issues. You see, she has never been out of that machine. Now this is the first time she's being held by me and the family members. This is a baby who should be under like kangaroo care. I was given some instruction from hospital. We should keep the baby off from the visitors, from the family member and everyone, apart from me and the husband. This is a very delicate issue, and it's not easy, especially from the community I come from, where they believe visitors all around should come from day one after you are from hospital to hold the baby. It was not easy, but I had to explain to them. So anytime I got visitors, no, hakuna kuona baby. Baby was in bedroom 24/7. 24/7 baby was in the bedroom until she hit 3 months. Yes, for another almost 1 month, we didn't remove that baby from bedroom. She was very small, and that time she was very weak. Remember, there was that steroid injection I got to enlarge the lungs. Remember, this baby is still developing, because at 7 months, that is the time I gave birth. So 3 months, you can imagine, now she's 3 months old since I gave birth. And I gave birth at 7 months. So baby is 10 months old when we are going back home. No holding baby for visitor, no saying baby. The room had to be extremely hot, warm, that is warm. And I had to wash the baby every day. Hygiene wise, lazima mtoto ageoshwa kila siku. So I had to prepare the room, and that is the time even I forgot I am a CS mother. Stitch yangu niliweka kando. I forgot. We had to concentrate on my baby. Still, my husband is still with me 24/7, ensuring, is there anything in the house? That is the time. There are these friends of mine who are ensuring everything is running. He is ensuring anything needed, shopping. Bone for the soup is brought in the house. The baby, he is also with the baby. My dear, the baby now, she has started crying. She has started adapting to this other environment. Mchana yake ni usiku. Throughout the night, we didn't used to sleep. Now we had to do shift. You sleep for some hours, I sleep for some hours. You hold baby for some hours, and nobody can hold the baby because of we are yet to release the baby to the other the friends and relatives. So the 4th month, my baby started becoming strong, better, growing bigger, adding weight, breastfeeding. I can say we saw the hand of God. God saw our silent tears, our prayers, and he answered, because that Natasha, our miracle girl, never got sick, not even a single day since we left hospital. Each and every time we went to hospital, there was an increase in weight. Even if it was gram, we saw that as a miracle. Even if it was gram, it was a miracle because of where we came from. We attended all the clinics. Our baby was growing big, strong, better. She grew good. She attained 1 year without even any sickness. She developed like any other baby of that age. There was no, she was able to attain each and every milestone according to the age she had. The walking, the everything, the development was quite okay. To date, as we are talking, Natasha is 10 years. There was a time she was an obese. This girl, there was a time she was an obese. We went to, after going to the hospital, like we had to check on diet, on exercise. She's the best swimmer. She's in class 5. She went ahead, like she joined area because she could be in class 4, but she's in class 5. She rides bicycle. She's good at it. This is a baby who has never had some health complication. Not at all. Not at all. She doesn't know about, we have never gone back for admission. We thank God for where we come from and where we are, and the power of prayers, and still the support. It's a journey that each and every lady needs support, be it relative or spouse. But for the spouse is 100% because you will walk alone. You know, this is a person who will tell you it's okay even when it's not okay. Mefika mwisho, but he will tell you tunatoboa. But hata yeye anajua hamtoboi. But anakushow we are still going to make it. There were days later, he told me later on, there were days he thought it's over. It's over. We have seen our baby, like even breathing is a problem. It was on oxygen. She's not feeding. She has rejected my milk. What do you expect when you are going to the next visit? It's over. But with God in heaven, the report can change. Like God will surprise you. Pray, let God surprise you. Leave your worries to God. Get that support. Because if I didn't get that support, I think things could have been worse. There was this thing, I told God, thank you. I never developed pressure. Despite passing all that, I never had pressure, not a single day. Because when I came home, I had friends who were supporting me. 24/7, there were people on my phone. All is well. We have not seen your baby, all is well. Experiences from 1, 2, 3. I have a few friends who gave me their touching story, either theirs directly or some people who have passed through the same, and told me the baby will survive. My friend's baby was like this. Somebody else had a baby who is like this. So I had those friends who encouraged me, and I knew if somebody's baby survived, mine will also survive too. Also, it's very important to be attending those like classes, the antenatals. They are very important for new mothers, even for other mothers. There are some things you will learn they have never been shared elsewhere, because what she called me that day, it's call your doctor, go to hospital, because we had been told in case this and this can happen. The best thing to do is like this and this, because I can imagine, what if I decided, because it's in the evening, let me relax. I go to the hospital tomorrow. What could have happened? I couldn't be holding my baby. I thank God. I thank God for where we are and how she is. She's a performer in class. She's doing good, and I'm very happy. Another thing, after now passing through all that problem, it was not easy for me to think about pregnancy and baby number 3, despite now we had a number that we wanted in our family, in the family. We wanted baby number 3, but we couldn't imagine going through the same process. I thought the same thing will repeat. Actually, those are the days I used to see unexpected ready and freeze and feel like freezing. Ile najaa uoga na shaga. God bless this woman not to undergo what I underwent. Nilikuwa naona mtu akiwa na mimba na shtuka. I don't know, that thing was in me. So even me, I couldn't be able to think of getting baby number 3. It took me 6 good years for that thing to come out of me, for me to get baby number 3. Because I had the feeling, the fear in me, it was still very fresh. But each and every pregnancy is different. Each and every kid is different. I thank God from Natasha. I got another baby and smooth pregnancy, no problem. I got my baby after 6 years. After then I realized, so God is with me. Pregnancies are different. After 2 years, pop, I got another baby. And that is my family. We have 4 beautiful girls. And I'm grateful.
So the 3rd and the 4th born, there were no complications?
No complication, but they are CS babies. No complications.
We give thanks to God.
Amen. Wow. Amen. I can encourage a lady out there. Antenatal clinic is very important. Attend them from the word go. Don't compare yourself with others. Start those clinics. Go get that information. Don't say I had with. Go hard from the health providers, the nurses, the doctors. To the men out there, support your spouse. Start with them. At times you may think your wife or your girlfriends are very strong. Like me, I'm one of those people who, despite the challenges, I tend to be strong. But there is that time you need that person. Support your spouse. Be with them. And especially during that journey. During that journey, start with them. Yes.
Yeah, so that is Sarah's story. I'm sure we've learned something or two, and maybe we even know somebody who right now is going through such an experience. Let's be there for them, let's support them, because just like Sarah has explained and taken us through her journey, it was an emotionally draining one, and one that needs the support of all the people around her, the friends, the family, grandparents, workplace, everybody. So let's be there for our friends when they need us. Others, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.